everyone, I am Janhavi Panwar. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, or if you people are new over here, then welcome to my YouTube channel. In this short video, we're going to be talking about how not to fumble while talking in English. A lot of us have this problem is that whenever we try to talk in English, we tend to stutter, we tend to fumble, especially when we are in an interview, having a conversation with someone, communicating with someone, or whenever we are giving out a presentation or a speech. So how to bring that speech clarity, the points that we have to focus on, that's what we're going to talk about. So point number one is your pacing of words. What is important is that your pacing of words. So some of the times we cannot decide whether we have to keep our pacing slow or we have to keep our pacing fast. For example, I'm going to take my example. When I was younger, I used to talk very fast. So everyone used to be like, we could not even understand a single word you said, so you have to take it a little slow. But then I practiced and practiced. Then it became a lot slower. Then my dad was like, you gotta speak a little fast. So it's always important that you keep a balance when you're talking. You keep what? You keep a balance when you're talking. Now, let me tell you a fact. When you try to speak fast, we think is that if we're speaking fast, then we're going to sound like a native speaker, or we're going to sound very fluent. Our pronunciation is going to be correct, or people are going to think we're extremely fluent in the English language. But that's not the point. The point is if you're speaking fast, you tend to lose confidence. But if you're speaking on a balanced speed, a little slow and not too fast, if you're speaking on a balanced speed, then the clarity of your voice is something different. For example, if I keep talking like this, then maybe I'm going to fumble somewhere, just like I did now. So if you're going to speak a lot faster, you're going to fumble somewhere, definitely. Your pronunciation of Z, S, T, D, these four pronunciations, you're going to mess them up if you talk way faster. So make sure you keep a balanced speed. How can you do that? You can do that by reading. By what? By reading. And especially reading out loud. All right, now pick a newspaper or pick a book. What you're going to do, you're going to open the first article or first chapter of the book. You're going to start reading and you're going to read out loud. What's going to happen then? When you're going to read, so you're not going to read fast, because when we speak, we tend to speak fast because we think is that what if we can't fit all of our information or every opinion that we want to express? But while we are reading, we already have the content in front of us. So it becomes easier for us to read out loud. So whenever you're reading out loud, make sure you are on a balanced speed. Is that when you open up the first chapter, there was a boy, that boy was. So the important part is that whenever you find a full stop anywhere, it's important that you take a pause over there. But it's also important is that you keep in mind, you do not have to take a pause for 3 or 4 seconds. The pause is just going to last for 1 second or 2 seconds. So it's going to be 1 to 2 seconds, not longer than that. Once there was a boy. Then, did you notice how awkward it was? But once there was a boy, he was very thirsty. I'm just reciting the thirsty crow now. Instead of a crow, there's a boy. So you have to read out loud. With that, you'll create a balanced speed, because the more you're going to read, the more you're going to speak. And English, it all comes from practice. Point number 2, that was a sub point. Keep your information concise. The problem with us people is that to make other people understand our opinions, to make other people understand is that we know something about a topic. So for that, we tend to speak a lot. We tend to over-exaggerate stuff. Well, we can clear out the over, but we do exaggerate a lot. For example, if I keep talking on this point for like 5 minutes, everyone's going to think, why is she exaggerating so much? What is wrong with her? So you have to keep your information very concise. The more you're going to keep your information concise, the more clarity there is going to be in your speech. Because the more you're trying to be, the more you're going to over-exaggerate, the more you're going to fumble. How? Let me tell you. You have literally said everything that was in your mind in the first 2 minutes. And in the next 3 minutes, when you're just exaggerating, you're just finding out words, new words, to just fit all of the information that you have just said in these 3 minutes. So it's not going to sound very nice, and it's also going to make you seem very unconfident. So make sure you're opinions are clear. Because whenever you have something, some information, any opinions, there need to be clarity. Not the speech clarity, but clarity in your ideas, clarity in your opinions, clarity in whatever you're expressing, that kind of clarity. And speech clarity is just a second point. If there is clarity in your content, there is going to be clarity in your speech, believe me. Next point, pronunciation. Pronunciation. All right. So pronunciation plays its role. Definitely it does. I mean, you can be pronouncing words in your own dialect and then keep thinking, why am I fumbling upon words? Maybe because in your dialect, it's a fact that you fumble upon those words or those kind of sounds or those letters, those vowels, anything basically. But if you're going to have to pronounce everything in the English language, so you're going to have to pronounce everything in a correct manner. For example, you can be pronouncing T in the place of D or D in the place of T, or you can be pronouncing S as Z or Z as S, or you can be pronouncing Wa as Ba or Va as Wa. So it's very important that you notice all of those things because pronunciation, it plays its role. So how can you improve your pronunciation? Now, the more you're going to listen, the more your pronunciation is going to improve. So basically, if you start listening podcasts when you're traveling, when you're going somewhere, or if you're cleaning out your room or your home, to start listening to podcasts, listen to more songs, English songs. When you're on your social media, change your phone settings to English. Obviously, most of our default settings are in English, but whenever you're on social media, watch reels, shorts, and videos on Facebook in the same language, basically English. So the more native speakers you're going to listen to, the more your pronunciation is going to improve. Because the more you're going to immerse yourself in that language, the more you're going to speak in that language. And that's a fact. And this is how you bring clarity in your speech. Make sure you follow all of these tips, and I'm going to see you people in the next video. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Stay safe. Bye.